Okay, so on the back, we're looking at this problem about Sarah's age versus height. So it says that Sarah's parents are concerned that she's short for her age, and she has this record of her height in centimeters over a certain period of months. So we've got these two variables up here, so we can think about what the response variable is, what the explanatory variable is. So in this case, age will explain the height. The height is the result or the response. So we can use x for age, y for height, if we're thinking in terms of x and y. And it says over here, plot these points and name the axes. Okay, so usually we put x across the horizontal, and especially if there's time, we're going to put that across the horizontal. So let's name that axis age. You can also verify, because if you look at the values, we're going 0 all the way to 110. Over here, we've got 36 up to 60. Okay, well, it could be either one. But then the next one, we're doing 86 up to 95. And this one starts at really 70, almost 77 and a half. So it starts almost at 80. So we certainly couldn't plot 36 over here on the vertical. Okay, so height, we're going to use y. That's going to be on the vertical axis, so we'll name that axis. All right, so next, we're going to be plotting each of these points. Let's get a pen ready. Okay, so we're plotting 36 and 86 together. Okay, so this is your XY point. So 36 across, 86 up. So we're going to approximate. Well, here's 30, here's 40, so this would be 35. So we're going to go just past 35, and then up to 86. So here's 85, so maybe about there. Okay, maybe a little bit further over, but we're approximating. And then we'll do the same thing for 4890, 5191, and so on. Okay, so now that we have one point plotted, go ahead and plot the remaining points. Pause the video if you need a little bit more time. Okay, so now you can see all of the points plotted. You can also see that this relationship is fairly linear, right? Those points are lying really close to on the same line. And in addition to that, you can also see that the relationship is positive. As age increases, height is also increasing. Okay, let's see what's next. Next, the worksheet is asking us to use our calculator to find the least squares regression line. That's just the same thing as a regression line. So we need to add in our lists. And I just put up here that we're going to use L1 and L2, L1 for age, L2 for height. So go ahead and enter those two lists into your calculator. So hit Stat, Edit. You can keep L3 in there if you want it. I'm just going to go up to the heading for L1 and clear out L1. I'll go up to the heading for L2. Remember, don't press delete because that deletes the whole list. If you just want to clear the entries, you hit clear. Otherwise, you can delete each one manually, but I don't like to do that. Okay, so go ahead and enter in the data in your list. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, you can double check your list now. Make sure that you put all of age going across, so 36, 48, 51, and so on, in your first list here, L1. And then the second one going across is going to be in the second list going down. Okay, so you can verify that your lists are correct. And then we need to run our regression. So we're going to do the same thing as before. Press Stat, Calculate, option 4 for linear regression. And we just need to verify our list. We put our lists in L1 and L2. We've got L2 and L3. So let's change those up again. Second step to change the name of the list. And second step again to change the name. Now you can see it's L1 and L2. That's where we put our data. So we'll go down to Calculate. Okay. So go ahead and write your equation. Pause the video again if you need more time. Okay, So now that we have our equation, our slope is positive 0.38, our y-intercept is positive 71.95. So now it's saying use these results to draw the regression line on our scatter plot. Well, so we could just go in and try to hand do it. Say, okay, we're starting at 71, that's going to be somewhere down here. And then our slope. But instead, let's let the calculator give us a little bit of an indication of what this is going to look like. It's going to be a little bit easier. So you have to, the key here is you have to do this immediately after calculating. So if you've gone away and done something else after this, it's not going to plot the right thing. So you do have to be a little bit careful there. So we have this in our calculator. We just calculated the line. Now we can show that on the graph on the calculator. It's really cool. So the directions are here in your notes packet. And so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to press y equals. So that's up here in this top row. These are all your graphing tools. So here's y equals. Press that. Okay, now you have this whole list. We just want to use y1. If something is in there, just hit clear and it'll clear it out. Okay, that's what it says, clear anything that's already in there. Now we're going to press vars for variables. Okay, and that's right here. You can find that button right next to clear. Press vars. Okay, it says choose option 5, statistics. Okay, go down. There's 5 statistics. I'm just going to press the button. All right, so I didn't have to press enter since I just pressed the button. Otherwise, you're pressing enter. Now we need to use the right arrow twice to get over EQ. So that's up here. We need the equation. So boom, boom. Okay, and we want the regression equation. That's the first one. Reg EQ. Okay, so we just need to press enter. So now it has put that regression equation into our calculator for us. Amazing. We didn't have to type it in. Now we just need to press graph and it's going to graph it. The only thing is the scale's a little funny. So notice mine isn't even showing anything. So there's a few things we can do. One, we can press zoom. That's up here. Then it says do zoom stat, so it's just going to highlight what we just put in. So that's down here at the bottom, number 9. So let's try that, zoom stat. Okay, that didn't work. So there's another thing that you can do, and sometimes if things are, if your plots are off, there's a strange setting, you can turn them back on. So if yours is doing what mine is doing, then you want to go into second and then y equals. So if you look right above the y equals, it says stat plot. We want to go into that menu. So we're going to press second, y equals. Okay. And so we want to plot this in our plot 1. Well, my plot 1 says it's off. Okay, let's turn that plot on. So we'll press enter for number 1. And then instead of off, we want on. And then in here, you can, if you want to, let's not change the type because we want to see all the different dots, but you can, and it's asking which lists to plot. We want L1 and L2. You can change the type of dot. Mine's going to be a little square because it shows up a little bit better. You can change it to a dot or a plus, and you can change the color. Isn't that fun? So, well, why not? We'll go magenta. Super fun. Okay, and now hit graph again, making sure that your plots are on. That's really the only thing you need to do here is worry about turning your plot on. Everything else is just optional. Now hit graph. Okay, and we're going to go back to that zoom again. Zoom 9 for stat. Okay, that looks more like it. There's our data with a line drawn through it. So if you're looking at your worksheet, we can see those points on there. So then, using a straight edge, draw that same line, but on your paper. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, the reason mine looks a little bit more slanted, and yours should as well, is because your grid on your paper is so wide. Notice that the grid on the screen, the rectangle, isn't quite as spread out. If you stretched the screen, which you can't, it would look more like that. Okay, so now you have all of the calculator stuff on the worksheet done. The rest is up to you to interpret the data that you found. Talk about the meaning behind everything.